In today's Money Watch, we're talking about something that impacts every family, caring for aging loved ones. Now, the population of Americans between the ages of 65 and 84 will jump by 7 million from 2025 to 2030. That's according to projections by the Congressional Budget Office. And nearly 1 in 4 adults are responsible for providing care for family members, putting both an emotional but also a financial strain on them. But the good news is CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to tell us how to deal with all of this. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm wearing Money Watch green for all of
I
us.
love it.
I know. It's a very interesting issue. I hear about this from folks. This is sort of the sandwich generation of people who are like, oh, my gosh, I'm taking care of my older parents and also still raising my kids.
Yeah. So, I mean, how much money are we talking about? Because a lot of this often goes unpaid, right? For, you know, this is just your family member.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is we have some tallies of this. So let's just presume that a lot of the care is being done at around $20 an hour. And when you look at the numbers, it's 59 million adults who are basically working for free, but the economic value of that is $1 trillion.
Wow.
And remember, when you're going and helping your parents, oftentimes you're taking less money from your job, you're working fewer hours. So there are a lot of concessions you're making financially, and also a lot of people are paying for things out of pocket for their parents because some of the costs are not covered by insurance.
So if you're taking care of a parent or a loved one, how to possibly earn money is the last thing on a lot of people's minds. But there are resources on the table to be had.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that a lot of people mistakenly think that Medicare is going to cover everything. It doesn't. So when we have longer-term care that is really coming up, this is after you've maybe exhausted a short-term illness, Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. And so what often will happen is people are turning to Medicaid. And if you are actually entitled to Medicaid, which means usually you make below a certain amount of money and you have below a certain amount of money, there is a way to tap the Medicaid system to pay for caregivers. Now, again, this is a fraction of people, but it's still millions of people, and this money is going untapped. So you can actually get paid as a caregiver under the Medicaid system. There's an application process, but let me just say, let's say you are my daughters, which could be the case, although Kelly's mom's here. But if you're taking care of me, I could create a system under Medicaid where I could have you get paid, again, what is sort of the traditional amount of money. So this is a very smart move. There are also some resources out there on the state level, but really check the Medicaid system.
Yeah, I think this is so important because I watched my mom go through this with my grandmother, also my great aunt. And yeah, you are spending so much money, time. But I know that it's not just about the finances, right? I mean, you have advice that is not financial for folks going through this.
You know, I think when you're taking care of a loved one, a family member, or a friend, it's exhausting emotionally.
Yes.
And so I think that when I went through that myself with my dad or with friends who have been sick, it's really about trying to structure your day and also making sure that you do things like take a break, right? And talk to your siblings, create a schedule. And I think that one of the things I learned, and this sort of goes into estate planning also, but like to have a central repository of information where siblings and friends can sort of access it. You know, maybe it's a Google Doc, maybe it's something else. But my sister and I have a long Google Doc that has now been in place for over 12 years since my dad got sick. But now we just have things like, where are mom's doctors? What are their phone numbers? What are the medications she has on? Sorry, Mom, I'm kind of outing you here. But, you know, but I think that you start to feel like a sense of control when you're sharing information and talking about it. Otherwise, I think things do fall through the cracks.
And a lot of times things fall on the person who has that information. So if the information is accessible to everyone.
Exactly.
Before we go, where can people go to find more information about the Medicaid?
Well, you go to Medicaid. Okay, so Medicaid.gov, but Medicaid is run on the state level. So you have to go to your state of residence or the state of residence where the person who is aging is and look there. Each state has slightly different rules, but do check that out. And also there are a lot of great resources. AARP has a really nice resource center for caregivers. I really encourage people to do that. And you know what's really good? To talk about these things before things go downhill. So, you know, I have to say that having these conversations it may not feel comfortable today, but it will make your life so much easier down the line.
So much good advice. As always, Jill
Thank
Schlesinger,
you.
so great to see you. And if you, like us, have questions about your financial life, you can email Jill at askjill@cbs.com. We do not gatekeep her. She could answer one of your questions in an upcoming segment. You can also hear more advice on her podcast, my favorite, Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger. New episodes drop every Saturday and Sunday.